talk about it. Okay, here we go. Alright. So it's paused right now. Alright. I'm going to see if I can go along with the video. So you take your first direction to the left, and then you do your second one like right here, and then third one about right there, fourth right here, fifth right here, sixth right on this line right here, seven, so with 6 you start with 2, 7 you do 2 again, 8 you do 2 again, and then immediately you want to switch to your 9th input. So even if Marcus tells you did it wrong, don't listen to Marcus. On the 9th swing, immediately start going to the left and press 3 times. So the placement is the important thing. The numbering is 5 swings with 1 input, and then on the 6th swing you start 2 inputs, and then on the 9th swing you start 3 inputs. And your first input on the 9th swing doesn't necessarily have to make Marcus happy. You can be like right on the cusp of where Marcus wants you to press the button, but in reality you've just built momentum. You've done a good thing, even though Marcus is telling you did it wrong. You can make Marcus happy and literally go nowhere. So making Marcus happy is not at all important in that minigame. So I'm going to try to show you guys one more time the placement that I do it. It's very important where you press your inputs. Okay. So I'm going to try to pause it. Okay. Can people see this? I don't really know. Alright, so the first one is going to be to the left. So obviously it starts directly in the center. The second, so you'll see like there's sort of a beam to the left of the cage, and then there's black space, and then another beam to the right of the center of the cage. So your first input is obviously going to start at the center in the middle of the black section in between the beams. As you're swinging back, you press your second input 2/3 of the way down that first beam, almost to where you'll be touching the black part, to where that little spike below the cage would be touching the black part. So let's watch. Okay, so one input, second input. So my second input was right before hitting that black spot, and I'm watching the little spike below the cage. Okay, third input is similar, but it's a little bit further out. I would press the input halfway through the beam on the right hand side. So here it comes, boom, right there, halfway through the beam on the right hand side. Okay, now we're swinging back for our fourth, and I press my fourth immediately on the outside, all the way on the outside of the first beam. So immediately when that spike comes into contact with the first beam on the left, I would press my input right there. And then fifth, same thing. The farthest most edge of the beam on the right side is where I would do it then. And so now I'm about to start my 6th swing, and the 6th swing is really important. You want to let yourself swing for a little bit and start to head back the other way before you press your input. I watch for a black line. There's a crack in the wall in the back, and you'll see me just barely go past it, and then when I swing back and hit that black line again, that's when I press my first 6th input. So right there, and then I press it twice, and then with 7 I just go ahead and go, and then with 8 I wait for just a little while longer, and then 9 go immediately on 9. And after 9 you don't have to worry, you just mash. You just make sure you do 3 inputs for each swing after the 9th swing. So that's 11, and then this was 12. So let's go ahead and watch that whole thing again. and keep an eye out for visual placements, visual cues. Okay, first input left, second input right before the black, third a little bit sooner than that, fourth right on the edge of the white beam, fifth edge of the white beam on the other side, sixth right on that black crack, and then double, and then 7 another double, 8 another double, and then 9 go immediately. And Marcus told me I had done it wrong, but it was correct. So on the 9th, immediately start your triple, 10th do another triple, and then 11th another triple, and 12th another triple. 2, 3, and there you go. That's how you save 10 to 20 seconds on that minigame. And then the dodge afterwards, I waited a little bit and the soldiers had good placement, so I was able to do it. Okay.